execution. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Saturday nights were made for Oil Kings Hockey and Ice District. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat. Tomorrow night, your Edmonton Oil Kings face the Tri-City Americans at Rogers Place for the first time in 2 seasons. The Oil Kings will be wearing a specialty fan-designed jersey that'll be auctioned and raffled off with proceeds going to charity. Plus, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The Edmonton Oil Kings get a rare visit from the Tri-City Americans. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers lose 1-0 to the New York Islanders. Never happened before, but oh, wait a minute, it did once. And some fans believe the Oilers are to blame for the game. Me, I'm gonna go with luck. In this case, bad luck. But I will be offering flowers to the goalie and to the coach, and maybe the GM too. He's found a couple of goalies now, some defensemen and a few forwards, doing very well, I think. Stan Bowman, I'm sure you'll agree. Or not. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned and community-driven, we're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we're live on YouTube and Sports 1440. We're also available to you at your computer, at your desk, as you pretend to work. iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. I should say, join us as we also pretend to work. After the show, it's Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweet it out on X. You can text or call us anytime, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, and at JFenwick04. Our good friend Steve Lansky from Inside the Truck podcast will join us. We'll have declinations. The original, that means it goes at 12:40. We'll talk about what that means, and it's coming up in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. First, the introduction. His LinkedIn bio says, and I quote, "A student in all aspects of life, trying to learn as much as I can to succeed," which is exactly what a lollygagger would say. It's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody. There you go. Nice amount of applause.
I have to be honest, I don't think I've opened LinkedIn since I made it for school.
It's a younger picture.
I think it's the same picture I have for my Instagram profile.
Well, I'll tell you what. The guy I'm about to introduce, his is still showing that he shows work for Bell Media. So it's been a while for him too.
Yeah, well, I took a gander at his LinkedIn a little while back, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Nice photo, too. This is a tough day for this man. He's going to be thinking about Indiana-Miami college football final until Monday night, but he has to talk about other things, including today's show. I think he'd rather be plowing the neighborhood, but he's a pro, and he'll do well. It's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Bell Media. Ooh-wee mama. What a place that was.
Hoochie mama. You enjoyed it. They loved you over there.
Yeah.
You keep getting job offers from former and current employees over there.
Well, I guess, yeah. I guess that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess I should be. Listen, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm grateful.
I think you brought a good attitude and a fantastic work ethic.
I'm loyal to Sports 1440 now.
Well, and we bless you for that. Bless you. I hope they pay you back by, getting rid of that old guy noon to 2 and you can slide right in.
No.
All right.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's coming. Come on now. I forgot where I parked my car a minute ago. I'm telling you.
Stop it, please. Someone stop him. He's digging himself too deep.
Steve Flansky will join us just a little after 1 o'clock today. We'll talk about last night's game. Here's my opinion. They played well. They had bad luck. The goaltending was great. They could have had 3 or 4 goals. There was a post. There was a phantom goal. Leon missed the net by not much late in the game. Look, sometimes stuff happens. And it did last night. Give credit to the Islanders. A really interesting team. They've got a fabulous goalie. But guess what? The Oilers had a fabulous goalie last night as well. I thought Ingram played extremely well. His 5-on-5 save percentage this year is well over 9, and it leads the Oilers. Now, it's in a small sample, but who cares? It'll be a larger sample later. And I asked the question now. Everybody's like, well, when are they going to send Pickard down? I don't think they will. Gregor's saying, maybe after the Olympics they'll make a call, which seems right. You don't have to make a decision now unless there's an injury, and it's unlikely it would be so difficult to work around it. So you go through and you maybe get to the deadline, and then you make your call. And we'll see. I think there is an appetite to have Calvin Pickard on the roster. The problem is there currently are 2 goalies who are playing better. So that's going to be a tough, difficult call. And that's why they hire general managers to make those calls. I liked Ingram's game last night. I thought the third line was great. I will give credit to Chris Knobloch on 2 things. Well, lots more than 2 things, but 2 specific things. He made that challenge call on the puck over glass, which was great because it was right, thank God, for Oilers fans. And then the second thing, he kept that third line together. They're small, but they had tons of chances last night. And look, you can get mad at Matt Savoy and Ike Howard. They're not can't score. Well, you got to give them some time. I wrote today on The Athletic. Do you know that Matt Savoy is getting more even strength time per game than Mike Comrie did as a rookie? Ales Hemsky did as a rookie. Basically, anybody during the period of time the Edmonton Oilers have been in contention from the year 2000 through to today, not named Connor McDavid, Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle, and, well, not even Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, all played less than Matt Savoy is at even strength right now as NHL rookies. This isn't an unusual experience. This is pretty normal. And guess what? He's coming along. He's not scoring yet at even strength. He is at on the power play, and I think he'll be fine. So patience is a virtue. All right, men, before we get to the NFL weekend, which we're going to talk about a lot, and the baseball news, we're going to talk about that some too. Your thoughts on last night's game?
Strong effort in the third by both teams, really, because obviously that's when the Islanders scored. But I got to be honest, like I thought that Draisaitl goal went in. How often is it that he goes to the wide post?
Yeah.
From his spot like that? Not very often. It was basically, I thought that was barbecue chicken. Bouchard, I can't believe he hit it so hard that it went, it pinballed.
It did the impossible.
Yeah. And so that was kind of nuts. Like they had chances, but at the end of the day, like they got goalied and the posts got in the way. Really, it was really what it came down to. The Oilers played well, and like Connor Ingram also played well on the flip side. Like I know he faced 18 shots and he let in 1, but other than that, I thought he was pretty nails the whole way through. He faced some tough shots, so I don't know. It's just not a scheduled loss, but that's one of those ones that you're okay losing.
Well, I think it shows that they played a good hockey game and they had a good goalie. Those are news pieces for the Oilers.
Yeah, that's like everything you can want. You lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Like that is good. Now, the real question is, does Connor McDavid go on another 20 game point streak?
He's
because
capable.
the last time they got shut out 1-0, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. Declan, any thoughts?
Yeah, I hate to, kind of just piggyback off the both of you. I like to, be able to add original thought, but I think you guys summed it up well. I think it was, they got goalied by Elias. Sorokin is such a special talent. And like Kevin Woodley was outlining what he's doing for the Islanders this year compared to what Hellebuck did last year. And he's like far above the pace Hellebuck was last year. And he obviously won the Hart last year. So it just speaks to what Sorokin is doing. It was some bad luck. The Draisaitl goal. Yeah. I don't know. What can I say? It's like a 1-0 game. Like there's only so much you can say that hasn't been said by you two. Some bad luck the other way, not a scheduled loss. Games like that are going to happen. I was really, from just a, fan perspective, I was really sad to see Connor McDavid's point streak come to an end. Cause I don't know. It just like the point streak he was on and the amount of points he had totaled up in that run, it felt like it was just going to go on forever. And to see it actually come to a close, you were like, well, like this sucks. But also the other thing I wanted to say really quickly is like I wonder, like, is Connor Ingram just the number one now ahead of Tristan Jarry?
I think you've got to get Jarry for a run, but what I will
agree,
say is
obviously,
that
but
Ingram is playing like a number one.
Like I'm saying, he's playing so well, and I've loved what I've seen from him. And he had, what did he have, like an 840 in the American with a 4.0 GAA? Like no one saw this coming.
No,
but
I agree.
Yeah,
different league, more structure. It helps, but he's playing well. I will say this, that a few weeks ago, before he went on the hot streak, I said, Connor McDavid can't carry this team, like he did when he was 25, and I believe that. That said, that's not what happened last night, because that third line with Roslovic and Savoy and Howard, they didn't cash, but they're coming on. They have a plan for secondary scoring, and I like the plan. I don't know it'll run like that all year, but there's some good things coming. It's just you're racing against the playoffs, and you're racing against, does Coach Chris Knobloch trust Savoy and Howard and, say, Nuge or Roslovic enough to play them a regular shift in the playoffs? It's a concern, and it's an answer we won't get until April, but I'm certainly going to be monitoring the situation. Or does CBC say situation?
I have no idea. You know how I knew Connor McDavid's point streak was going to end pretty soon? I didn't say anything or anything.
Because Gregor predicted it would go for a long, long time?
No, because Sportsnet predicted it. I was my roommate got back from work. Like he was in Ontario for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back and I'm like, all right, let's go get wings at the bar where I work. And I look up and Sportsnet has their hot or not segment with, I don't know who. And they said, one person was hot on Connor McDavid getting to 31 games with a point. And I was like, all right, so his point streak is over, and just went on with my life knowing that like that in fact was going to end, because it's like talking about a no-hitter in the dugout.
Or a shutout. Same thing happened. Dante Bichette, Bo Bichette's father, made $42.8 million during his entire Major League career. Bo Bichette will make $42 million per year for the New York Mets, a contract that was signed earlier today. Yeah. The Phillies thought they signed him last night. It didn't happen. Mets lost out on Tucker, who's heading for the left coast. We got to remind me to super invite Donovan Paulson on Tuesday's show, because, he was mad as hell last night, and I know he'll be mad as hell on Tuesday. No doubt in my mind. The Tucker deal to L.A., and now the Bichette deal to the Mets means that Bellinger is going to go to probably the Yankees, but maybe Toronto and maybe Philly. And then the teams that miss out on Bellinger are probably going to make a trade. That's the way it works. You can't sign a free agent, which is just money. You're going to have to reach into the coffers and send some really good young players to a team that's not going to win anything anyway in your attempt to win the World Series.
I have a question, I guess. Are the Jays just maybe better this way? Like,
it's possible. I mean, one of the things I'm wondering about is, where does Bichette play? Because they just acquired Semyon.
He's got to play third base.
But okay, he can play third base. He's got a decent arm, but they're not so strong at first base that they could run. They got Batty and they've got Vientos that could play third base.
Yeah, they have they had not Polanco. Yeah, they got Polanco this offseason.
Yeah.
He's going to play first.
But maybe he'll be a utility guy or a DH or whatever. I don't think, I think Bichette is not playing shortstop. He's not, Lindor's the shortstop.
If anyone was going to play DH on that team, it has to be Soto. I think he's worse defensively than Bichette.
He's really bad.
He's really bad. So if they need, if something happens or whatever, they sign Cody Bellinger or something, who can play the outfield.
Yeah. Well, he can play center, but not really.
But and you can just be like, hey, you know what? You're better defensively than Juan Soto anyways. So because honestly, I don't think there's anyone as bad as Soto. Then you go, hey man, this is our DH. Finally, we got one.
Well, I think somebody's going to trade for Luis Robert Jr. out of the Chicago White Sox in the next week, I would say. Okay. We're going to do this, but I just want to tease it now. Okay. Because I think this is important stuff. NFL playoffs this weekend. I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to ask your predictions later on. But right now, I just wanted you to tell me the game you're most looking forward to seeing.
Mm.
And it can be a fan choice. It can. It's okay.
I got mine.
Okay, go.
Bills Broncos.
Shocking.
Yeah, let's not get too. So this is the thing. If the Bills can just score, I really believe this. If the Bills can just score 21 points, which I feel like you can pencil Josh Allen in for with his talent, I feel like they're going to win the game. Now the Denver's defense is scary. The more I think about it, the more I think it's the best unit in the league, if not top 3 up there with Seattle and Houston. But Josh Allen with his talent, his ability, even with the lack of weapons they have 3 wide receivers. Even with all that, I still think he can be good for 21 points, and I think that can be good enough for them to win the game. But I also feel like maybe I'm talking myself.
I think maybe you could pencil him in for 14. That's how good he can get one with his legs, and he can for sure get one with his legs, and he can find one with his arm.
So which
means you just have to find one more touchdown.
We've got 14 or 21 points. They're going to win for sure. Although that's what I'm hearing.
That sounds about right.
They just have to. They have to get to 21. The Broncos have not won a game where their opponent has scored more than 17 points this season.
It's a blackjack weekend is what you're telling us.
Yes, they need to get that. That being said, the game I'm most looking forward to, Niners Seahawks, baby.
It's going to be a great game.
That's going to be exciting. That being said, I'm still very excited to watch all of the football. Bills Broncos, probably second on my ballot, but the NFC West playing against each other this year has been absolutely nails. So I'm excited to watch that.
The Rams are playing in Chicago.
I'll give my thoughts on that later.
I just want to ask one question. We're going to take a break then. Weather a concern?
Yes.
Because I remember,
Sean McVay hasn't won at Soldier Field.
Well, I would just be like, back in the day, they'd be, I'd go, the Rams, they've got Ellard, they've got all, and then they'd end up playing in a cold weather city in the playoffs, and they'd look nothing like, they'd go and they'd run to the heaters. So I just worry about, how, if it's really cold or crappy weather and they can't throw, they don't have Dickerson in the backfield. We'll talk about it as the day goes along. All right. Straight ahead, we have rumors. Coming up at 12:40, it's Declinations. What is the subject today? And Declinations and joshing around.
A little bit different. Me and Josh are, because we haven't really done this as the season went on for the NFL. So we're going to kind of conclude it here. We are going to be giving our player award ballots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I think it's actually 6 categories, maybe 7.
We're not doing comeback player of the year.
No.
So just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Jalen Hurts fan, stay tuned because he's going to win all the awards from these two jack-o'-lanterns.
6 awards.
Defensive player of the year for the other team. Ayo. Zinger. Got him.
Rotten people. Steve Lansky on the way at 1. Your comments as well straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit TitanSupply.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Mr. Rooter goes skiing.
Sick gear, Mr. Rooter. Are you ready to hit the slopes?
Not yet. I need to report a possible crime.
Oh no, what's happening?
I saw a bunch of hooligans discussing shredding the half pipe. As a plumber, I've taken the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm and act in the best interests of all pipes, whether PVC, copper, or otherwise.
It's made of snow, Mr. Rooter.
No, things are worse than I had feared.
There's no better plumber than Mr. Rooter.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets, you'll cruise in comfort with heated seats and heated steering wheel. All this plus peace of mind with Subaru's top safety pick status for 19 years running. This winter, it's time to get you into a Subaru. Visit Subaru.ca today.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. 1220. Want to say hello to you. Cam Tate just rode on by and made sure that Josh was awake, which is apparently a big deal. I mean, he does work over 3 hours a day. You know, young people today, it's kind of a stretch, but he hangs in there. Does real well.
You're a slacker, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you're a lollygagger.
Just because I'm eating a donut right now does not mean I'm a lollygagger.
Okay, it's time.
Pop energy over
there. Oink, oink.
Best cop line in Simpsons was Bart got mad at Chief Wiggum during the Sideshow Bob attempted murder. And Bart had figured it out. And he's trying to explain it to Wiggum, and Wiggum doesn't understand. And so Bart kind of is a little bit of a jerk to the police officer. And Marge says, Bart! And
good Marge.
Wiggum says, no, let the boy talk. It's the only way I'm going to learn, which is the funniest line about a cop in that brilliant television.
The best one for me really quickly is from the Simpsons movie where Tony's dumping what's clearly a dead body into the lake. And Chief Wiggum's like, hey, you can't do that. They do that here. And Tony's like, well, I'll take my yard trimming somewhere else. And one of the cops is like, Chief, I think there was a dead body in there. And he goes, I thought that too. But then he said yard trimming. Gotta learn to listen.
I love that show. So good.
Gotta learn to listen, Lou.
All right. It's time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. Okay. Oilers lost last night. It's not the end of the world. There are some real positive things, and I want to send some flowers out today. And I know some of you won't be happy, and we will read your comments if you want to chime in on it. But I think that when Stan Bowman arrived here, the die had been cast, or at least all that was left is to turn down the Broberg Holloway offer sheets. He immediately traded for Vasily Podkolzin and Ty Emerson, both of whom are productive players. Recently, he picked up young Stastny from the Nashville Predators. He's turned over the entire goaltending room in the last few weeks. And they are building Roslovic. They acquired Howard. Not all of these cats are going to work out, but the bets are pretty good. And I think the bets are, considering the amount of money that he has to spend, pretty solid. And I will further suggest that maybe that's Stan Bowman's strength. Maybe they don't go to July 1st looking to solve all problems, which became the only transaction really during the Ken Holland era. What about good old-fashioned scouting, making a trade for a guy who doesn't kill the cap, and have him work out, hello, Vasily Podkolzin, who played really well last night. Matt Savoy had like a couple of high danger chances. Now, he wasn't an acquisition from the Bowman era, but he is working out. And I'll give flowers as well to Chris Knobloch. I thought he rolled the lines pretty well. The fourth line with Lazar at center is looking better and better every time. Frederick's starting to come out of the slump a little bit. Like I know they lost 1-0, but there are some good signs, and they can take it out on the weekend on who they playing? Vancouver?
Yes.
Vancouver, yeah.
Who's on a 9-game losing streak.
Wow. And their best center is Orland Kurtenbach.
And their franchise record for consecutive losses is 10. So they could tie that record on home ice against the Oilers, who just got shut out.
Mm-hmm.
Might be looking to prove a little something.
Yeah, I agree. Kev Meteor says, gents, something nice. I'm not a podcast guy. I only listen to TSN Overdrive at night. You guys' growing chemistry has supplanted Overdrive as my go-to at night when I miss the lunchtime on-air show. Keep up the good work. Also, screw the Eagles. Well, that was hurtful.
Let's go. That's huge for the program.
Yeah, I guess your team's in the playoffs.
Nope, they didn't even have a spitting chance at that. However, at least my quarterback can throw farther than 15 yards.
Yeah, but don't worry.
Accurately.
Your GM is going to end your quarterback next season.
Not my GM, my owner. Good try, though. Good try.
Well, all I know is that time's a ticking for your quarterback.
Yeah. Trees start to rot from the bottom, right? So.
Okay, so Oilers, from the point of view of where they are, they lose a game. Vegas, thanks Toronto. Man, the Leafs, you could have won the game in, I don't know, regulation. But oh no, had to lose it in overtime instead.
That's the Maple Leaf way.
So do they come back with, this is further to what Declan was saying earlier. They got to play Jari on Saturday, right? You got to play him. He's your starter.
Well, I mean, he's one of 3 starters technically on this roster.
But he's the guy you're paying a lot of money to, you send assets out for.
He's definitely the starter.
How long does that last, though?
You give him extended stretches.
Yep.
But
he's also coming back from injury.
Yeah, you want to get him.
Sure.
You want to get him right,
hurt.
maybe by the Olympic break, so you can count on him. But I'll tell you what, if Connor Ingram keeps playing this well, they're going to keep him in the rotation.
Oh, he's got to be number one. He'll end up being the number one. At this point,
for me, I don't know about that between Jari and Ingram. Like, Ingram's playing like the number one right now. But what this really is going to come to a head to, where I know they're carrying 3 goalies, it's going to come to a point where they just cut ties with Calvin Pickard, for better or worse, right? Like,
how do you do
start
that,
of the room?
Yeah, I agree. Like, but you're what are you going to do? Carry 3 goalies into the playoffs?
No, but he's a groin pull.
Do the old
LTIR.
Yeah.
And then you just leave
He's
him.
So popular. I mean,
I love Calvin Pickard, man. I do.
But apparently in the room, they were going to call up Ingram and the room went to the management and said, no, don't do that.
His career was over until he had to play for his job, if that makes sense. Like, I know that sounds really silly, but it was like people, when it was Stu and Cal, it was dunzo for Cal especially. Stu gets traded, Jari gets hurt, Cal plays like prime Dominic Hasek, but like his career was like, it was over.
Yeah. By the way, I don't mention Stuart Skinner, but he seems to be doing pretty well in his new town.
He is dialed. I was watching the Flyers Penguins game last night before the Oilers game came on. By the way, Crosby had a sick power play goal in the third.
Really good.
It is insane to me how much that guy hates the Flyers. 60 goals, 20 power play goals.
There was a famous media avail in the locker room years ago.
Oh, yeah. I don't like
him.
a single guy.
Well, why don't you like him? I don't know. I just don't like him.
Yeah.
It was a great interview.
I don't like a single guy on their team. It's awesome.
Right. By the way,
I root for Stuart Skinner.
I'm not a high guy, but I sat here and defended him for 3 years, and I'm just going to go, aha! It's too early to do that. But he's got a .902 save percentage.
I was going to say, like, you're taking a victory lap. Like, you might want to pump the brakes on that.
But everyone was taking a victory lap in his first few games in Pittsburgh.
Way too
can't
early.
do that either. You can't take that victory lap either.
The experts say you got to wait 20 games. He's played 8. Let's see how this plays out. But he does look good.
But he's playing really well. Credit to the defense that's playing in front of him too. Like they're working hard in front of him.
Did you guys read the article where there's been some tire kicking on Picard from Philly, Carolina, and the Rangers? I'm not surprised. Anybody with a goalie, an extra goalie, is going to get interest. The problem is, what if you trade him to Carolina and he ends up being Cam Ward 2006?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's bad karma. I think.
But I just think
things you have to roll the dice on.
I think the fear really is waivers. Like those Philly and Carolina, for me especially, would pick him up on waivers.
Well, Carolina picks up goalies. They don't even have to. Is it a goalie?
Carolina, it seems like they just put claims in, period.
Yeah, Tulski's like that. He does this thing at the draft where he's got a second round pick and he trades it down, and then he trades it down, and then he'll trade the late second for a third, and at the end of it, he's got 11 fifth round picks, and it takes 5 hours and ruins everybody's barbecue later in the day. But it is effective. They've got a lot of real talented guys. They just haven't won a Stanley Cup. All right, you know about the Dodgers going to sign Tucker. You may not know the Mets are now signing Bo Bichette. Looks like he'd be a third baseman. They've got Semien at second, shortstop's Lindor. Nothing's changing there. Could play first base because they didn't make a big move at first base after Alonso left. They did pick up Polanco, but he's not a natural first baseman. But as we found out in Moneyball, anybody can play.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. Tell them it's incredibly hard.
Anything worth doing is.
The Eagles have arranged Zach Robinson OC interview. Is that a good move?
I don't know. I guess like the thought process for them is like just take a competent mind, and with the talent they have, he'll be better than Patullo.
I want a genius.
I don't think Zach Robinson's a genius.
Okay, then I don't want him. Sorry.
Where are we at on Mike McDaniel in the coaching circle right now? Because I haven't been seeing many reports of him taking interviews aside from that Browns interview.
We do know Kevin Stefanski is likely to take second head coaching interviews with the Falcons, Ravens, and Titans. So maybe he gets a job first.
Ravens would be insane. I could not see him fitting there at all. Falcons makes sense.
Why not? Defensive coach.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Stefanski.
Oh my
Stefanski
goodness.
on the Ravens.
I thought he said Mike McDaniel.
No, sorry.
Oh no. I like Stefanski there.
He's a good fit
I like
on the
Stefanski
Ravens.
there.
All right. Does this mic working?
His ears aren't working. That's all.
The usual.
Hey, zinger.
Browns are going to conduct second head coaching interviews with Jim Schwartz and Todd Monken. Anything there?
I like Todd Monken. I like that. I don't know what the Browns need. Like, I think normally you can point to a team and be like, they need this type of coach, they need this type of style, they need this type of leader. With the Browns, just because of who they are, and obviously the Browns are a very, very one of 32 teams, 32 team, I should say. What do they need?
I'll tell
they
you.
Just need all of it.
I'll tell you what the Browns need right now: new owner.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't like this, but maybe this is the world we live in. That's Genesis. Falcons would prefer to hire a head coach before a GM. Is that bass-ackwards, or is that the new NFL?
It's really team dependent, I feel like. for the Falcons, like I would say you're probably in a spot where you have your core pieces. You believe you have your young quarterback, your young wide receiver, your young running back, some young pieces on defense, and Pierce and Terrell. Like you're probably more looking for a coach who can get the most out of those guys than you are a GM who can add to. Like obviously you always want to add to the roster, but it's a coach is probably more pertinent for them.
Yeah, like you bring in a coach who you like, and then they're in the GM interviews being like, "Hey man, you're not allowed to trade away this guy, that guy, the other guy, but here's who I want to see come in that I think would fit in really well here." And obviously they're not going to be like, "I think Saquon Barkley would fit in really well here," or whatever, you know, but what positions are needed? Quarterback being one of them.
NBA, rumors surrounding the Grizzlies and maybe the Raptors too, but not connected necessarily.
Yeah, I just have a headline on my phone here. Per CBS Sports, I don't know who the actual writer or source is or whatever. Bucks looking to add help for Giannis as Heat's trade interest in Ja Morant is, quote, overstated.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably good.
The NBA is so good at making
good for
news.
Everybody. They're really good at making news.
I don't know if I could stand having to be a Ja Morant fan. Like I like Ja Morant's game, but him being the best player on my team, knowing he's going to play 40 games a year and give 30% effort, he's probably not. Listen, man. I love Bam. Bam is a bit of a backstep.
I'm not saying. I guess like talent obviously like plays a factor into that, but we're talking effort, what fit on the team, everything. Like Bam is
a way better fit.
Bam is Heat culture basically right now, especially because he puts his effort in on defense also.
So for those of us who are aged and font challenged, I have been trying to read this message from Chris Drury of the New York Rangers to the fans, and the font is so small I can't see it. Tell me what he's telling the Rangers fans.
He's telling Rangers fans, "Sorry we suck so bad. My bad. We're not going to rebuild, but we are going to, quote, retool."
Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Oh, it's long. Read me the pertinent points.
Oh, okay.
I just gave you the pertinent
Josh.
points.
Well, then it's all good.
It's also so funny. He has to come out with like a size 8 3-paragraph message to tell everyone they're retooling. Like, okay.
It could have just been a blurb.
Also,
like, "Yo, you guys deserve more, and sorry we sort of..."
If you're going to do it, get the owner to do it. That's what Kate's did. I think the owner has to make that. Otherwise, it's like, because I'm not going to be a jerk about this, but do you know what the number one problem with the Rangers the last few years has been? Chris Drury.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like, okay, all right, my bad. But now, trust me, it doesn't work like that. This is professional sports. Like this is what happened to the New York Rangers. Okay, Glenn Sather, you will never hear me say a bad word about him. He was a brilliant general manager and coach for the Edmonton Oilers, and he's a Hall of Famer. And I best since Pollock, if not, it's Torrey. But Sather was top drawer general manager and coach in the NHL. Jeff Gorton gets there in 2015 after he saved the Bruins. Then he saves the Rangers, and they punt him in 2021 to get Drury, and they've been eroding talent since then. And it's been ugly a lot of times too, where they're sending people out after healthy scratching them and trying to get them to waive their no movement clauses, and then they bring back guys who are known to be issues on the roster, and then everybody's surprised when it ends up looking like a big pile of garbage you put on the barge in Manhattan and send out to sea. Drury's the problem. All right.
Chat, clip that. Nothing. Never mind.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Nothing important.
Is that some kind of lingo?
Yes, that is.
Are we playing cribbage again?
That's Twitch streamer lingo.
Oh dear.
Chat, clip that.
Chat,
that's all right. I clipped that already. So
W's in the chat.
W's in the chat.
What does it mean?
Chat, clip that.
Yeah.
You know those little vignettes that you see on Twitter sometimes?
Yeah, like 15-second ones?
No, the ones that we make here.
No, I've seen those.
Yeah.
No.
That's what that means basically.
Right.
Make one of those. Except the chat's not going to do it. It's my job to do it. So, you know.
Don't we have somebody assigned to do that?
Me. That's my job.
Well, you do a really good job at that.
Thanks, man. I taught Declan everything he knows.
That's actually the opposite, but Josh did perfect it in a way I hadn't before.
Can I just ask one question? Which one of you slapped a phone out of the other person's hand?
I think that was me to Big
So
Mike.
next up is declinations. It's going to be brought.
It is next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
The new double cheesy melt at McDonald's. We're talking 2 juicy, mouth-watering 100% Canadian beef patties, 2 slices of cheesy goodness, with even more melty, cheesy sauce on top. Topped with pickles, then crispy and grilled onions. The way it all comes together, you don't just eat it, you melt into it. The double cheesy melt, only at McDonald's. For a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Clear out the old and make room for new trends. The Brick is holding their store-wide inventory clearance event. Scratch and dent, last year's models, and overstock is up to 70% off. Score mattresses starting at just $99, sofas starting at just $3.99, and dining chairs starting at just $28. And this Friday to Monday, check out incredible 4-day deals, like save the tax when you buy 2 or more eligible major appliances. Check out The Brick in Edmonton with 4 locations. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
On Sports 1440 at 1240. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Tiger says, I was very impressed by your in or out graphics, Josh, on YouTube. He's very good, very talented. They're both very talented. They're young, smarter than I am, paid less money than me, very talented. There's a lot of pressure here, man. It's time for declinations. See, the features are already coming. Brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more, breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth Double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. And with that, we say a hearty hello to both men. And what are you bringing us today?
Yeah, so today we are going, it's a little bit different, not a straight top 5. We're going to be giving our NFL player award ballots. Well, player and coach of the year.
Okay.
So yeah, offensive.
So this
rookie.
is sort of like Madden thing, but the Madden awards, but more high profile.
Well, yeah, like the real awards. Like if we had an official vote, this is what our votes would be. So offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, coach of the year, and the MVP. So I'll start things off here. Offensive rookie of the year. I had Ted McMillan. I assume Josh is going to have Ted McMillan. I assume everyone's going to have Ted McMillan. He's like a minus 20,000 favorite to win the award. Tyler Shutt, I thought was great in New Orleans. I thought he got a lot out of that roster. Chris Olave helped him out as well. I really like his game. But this one I think is pretty open and shut. 1,014 yards, 7 TDs on the season. Best rookie offensive weapon. What can I say? Wish it would have been Genty, but it's going to be Ted McMillan.
You're wrong. I have Tyler Shuck.
Okay.
Elite. 9
I'm
games.
happy to hear that.
9 games started, 2,500 or just shy of 2,500 yards. Like, we're looking at something here. And again, you were right. The Saints roster was not very good. And the fact that he was able to go 5-4 as a starter with who he had, kind of crazy.
Is he getting this award because he helped you win a bet with Connor?
But yes.
Okay.
It's a valid question. It's a good question, LT.
But also elite. Looked good. When you watch him, Obviously, prone to some dumb passes, but
I think I might like him more than Jackson Dart.
That's not a hot take.
Yeah. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schweschinger of the Cleveland Browns. I wanted to kind of get cute with it and go with James Pierce Jr. because he had the 10.5 sacks, which is really tough to do as a rookie, the double-digit sacks. We actually talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. Went with Carson Schweschinger, 156 total tackles, 67 total tackles, 2 picks, 3 passes defended. Again, check the odds. He is the odds-on favorite to win it. Carson Schweschinger.
Yeah, I have the same thing as you. I got to be honest. Again, I wasn't watching exactly a lot of Browns football, even though I did bet against them. So I just went to who was the minus 30,000 favorite and went, oh, so clearly this guy is going to be the defensive rookie of the year. That's the only one that I did not really know.
He is, his last name sounds like what happens when you use mouthwash and it's swishing it around.
Schweschinger?
Or a brand of mouthwash even.
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. I mean, broke the sack record. I know people want to talk about 16 versus 17 games. That is true. He also did it in much less snaps than TJ Watt and Michael Strahan, like 100 less than TJ Watt, 200 less than Michael Strahan. And the other thing is, like, we kind of talk about this all the time with elite defensive players, but like for an entire week, the OC's game plan is how to take him out of the game. He's doubled every play. He still came away with 23 sacks. Another very easy choice here.
Yeah. No dip. You break the sacks record. Congratulations. You won the defensive player of the year. That was my whole basis for the whole thing.
Offensive player of the year. I struggled with this one a little bit. I went with Jackson Smith and Jigba. 1,793 yards. That's good for 8th all time in NFL history. Obviously led the league. He had 10 touchdowns. He was fourth in receptions. And I don't want to knock Sam Darnold too hard for this because I actually do think Sam Darnold is now an above average quarterback, even though I still want to see what he can do in the playoffs here this weekend. But my point kind of behind this was he didn't do it with Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. Like he did it, and we still did it with Sam Darnold. I'm not knocking Sam Darnold the way we might have knocked him 3-4 years ago, but it's still not one of those guys I mentioned. Jackson Smith and Jigba, offensive player of the year.
Well, Sam Darnold 2 years ago before he was on the Vikings. I also went with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Oh, okay.
You laid out the stats and everything. The thing that he did all that in a run-heavy offense is what's impressive. Like the Rams, Puka Nacua had very similar numbers this year. I don't have them right in front of me, but we know that they're all very similar because they were being pitted against each other. Matt Stafford throws the ball a lot. He's a gunslinger. And this is a team that was like grinded out, whatever. And Jackson Smith and Jigba basically like he was averaging 15.1 yards a reception.
Mm-hmm.
Elite. I honestly I found this pretty cut and dry for me. But
okay, interesting.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, my offensive player of the year.
Interesting.
Okay, coach of the year. I went with Kyle Shanahan. I'd been preaching it all year. I'd been saying it all year, I should say. You guys know how I feel about this one. Brock Purdy hurt. You have to go with Mac Jones for an extended period of time. No Warner, no Burst, no Bosa. Kittle had spent time hurt. Ayuk had spent time hurt. CMC was really the only constant there. He'd find himself on my MVP ballot. But coach of the year, man, like what Kyle Shanahan was able to do to have them win the amount of games they won. Obviously, they didn't win the division, but still to be one of the premier teams in the NFL, be in the Final Four in the NFC. I have Kyle Shanahan. I think it'll probably go to like Vrabel, but Kyle Shanahan for me, coach of the year.
I agree. Same points all the way around. On that Vrabel point, like difference in schedules also.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very, very clear difference in who these teams were playing. And like he never had to trot out Shanahan trotted out Mac Jones, but he never had to bring out Joe Milton III or whoever it is that's backing up Drake May over there in New England for a game. And so an extended amount of games as a matter of fact. So I just think you look at Shanahan and what the 49ers did to almost win their division, like damn near. They were in one of those weird mathematical situations. I think Shanahan is the clear coach of the year. The fact that he hasn't won one yet is nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done?
No, we have MVP.
Okay.
We have MVP. The big one.
Yeah.
This one, I stared at it. I thought about it for a while. I'm going with Drake May as my MVP. I think Matt Stafford's going to win it. Matt Stafford had 4,700 yards this year, led the league. He had 46 touchdowns, which was first. Drake May, 4,394 yards, good for fourth, 31 TDs, good for third, led the league in QBR and passer rating. Matt Stafford fourth in QBR, second in passer rating. But my big thing was like what Drake May did versus the expectations of that Patriots team. Like, no one thought that Patriots team was going to be a 14-win team. People thought 7-8 wins is the absolute ceiling. And Stafford, he's got Devontae in the red zone, and he's obviously got one of the best receivers in the game, Puka Nacua. He has Kyron Williams as his running back. And I just think like Drake May, what he had to do with an old Steph Diggs and Mac Hollins and Pop Douglas and Kayshon Boutte as his options, and a running back room that, like, granted, Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson aren't bad. What he had to do with those guys versus the expectations, I think Matt Stafford's probably going to win it because his numbers are more impressive. But I went with Drake May as most valuable player.
I went with Matt Stafford. I thought we were going to agree for everything except for offensive rookie of the year. The numbers are there, obviously, and like he has more than Drake May. But the other thing, again, I think it comes down to strength of schedule. Drake May has 1 win against teams above 500. Matthew Stafford has 4 this year. Obviously, at the tail end of the season here, he sort of fell off the wagon. In 3 weeks, he threw 4 interceptions, 3 against the oh my God, I was about to say Hawks. I meant Falcons. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just think, like, I get the whole argument for who's most valuable to their team, whatever. If you were going to make an argument for who's most valuable to their team this year, I would say it was more Mike Vrabel than it was Drake May for the Patriots.
I hate to push back so vehemently. I mean, I think Mike Vrabel is very valuable. Mike Vrabel's a defensive coach.
Drake May was not good last year.
He was not good last year.
He was
but
terrible
this
last
year.
year.
We're talking about the 2025
Yeah,
season.
I know, but like so bad last year. And like
I wouldn't say he was so bad. He had flashes.
You think the change in coach
I think
didn't
it's a
like
big-
seriously affect the way that he's playing?
No, I do. I absolutely think it did. But you got Sean McVay as your coach. That's pretty good at too.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think more change came with Matt Stafford was elite before he came to the Rams. Things only got better. I don't know. I think it's Stafford, and also it's his time.
This is good. I like that conversation.
And we're done. Back to you.
Do you think Matt Stafford, the Lions would have benefited from bringing along slower?
No, it was pretty slow.
Good question.
He just needed another 7 years in Detroit.
If you just sign him through his 30s, maybe you'd get this guy. I mean, a 20-year investment. By the way, I liked when you said I'm preaching this, and then you checked down and said, no, I've just been mentioning it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the next step, right? The church of the NFL. Friends.
Hey, there's one true holy Catholic and apostolic church.
Well, we're not going to get into that much religion, but I do think that a Sunday 1 hour, little bit of a pep talk might be the next step of the NFL. And I mean, maybe sooner than later. One never knows. I just wanted to mention this because part of that Ranger thing is Panarin maybe getting traded somewhere. Oilers can't afford him.
No.
But what a player.
Right.
Still so good. What is he now, 38?
No, he's not that old.
No, he's signed till he's 38. So he's what, 34?
No, he's on an expiring contract.
Oh, never mind then.
That's why they're not signing him, Josh.
Sorry, that's my
He's
apology.
34 now, though.
34. Okay.
It's okay. We're just teasing you.
And then, someone's going to sign him till he's 38 or whatever, right?
But here's why I think he'd be great for the Oilers, because you could do anything you wanted then. You just have so much. You could run the three centers, three right up the middle, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nuge, and then you'd have more than enough wingers. The problem is the money, and again, you're investing the future, and I don't like. I think the goaltending might be solved, and I'm pretty happy about the defense. But I don't know that they have the cap room to go and get anything like that.
When's Jari allowed to be traded again?
You like him defensively?
Who?
Panarin.
No, I just think he's a wonderful scorer.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you liked his defensive game too.
Best defense is a good offense.
No, I think Panarin is a guy that could help you win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I think that everybody should be interested in that, including the Oilers.
Going to be a lot of callers.
I just don't know that they can, make it work. And it's a damn shame. But this is why when you spend money on July 1, there's, some impact. And he would have been signed originally by Stan Bowman, right? In 2015?
Oh, let me go back.
And like out of the I remember when he signed, I thought, oh, okay, this guy's probably pretty good. And he gets 30 as a rookie. I mean, he was older as a rookie, but 24 or something like that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about this current contract he's on, like this one with the 11.
But like his entry level deal out of St. Petersburg was signed by Stan Bowman, the Chicago Blackhawks. Am I not right about that?
April 29th, 2015.
And Bowman was the GM at that time.
I think the timeline on that matches up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like 98% sure he was, but I just want to double check because I don't want to say something that's wrong. Yeah, he absolutely was.
Okay. And so
absolutely was. I can't believe we even had to check.
Well, no, but
sometimes you haven't looked at something for a long time and you go,
and you don't want to get it wrong. So
right.
You want to
So Panarin is like $11,642,857. A lot of money.
Well, New York would be willing to get half of that because it's only for a year, right?
Okay, but that's still 6 point, whatever the hell it is.
Trent Frederick, enjoy. Oh, wait, no, sorry, you have a no move clause. Darnell Nurse, enjoy. Oh, sorry, you have a no move clause.
It's all down the line, baby.
I know we talk about it every day, but that's still just the stupidest thing ever.
Well, I don't know why. It's like you go, well, that's the cost of doing business. Maybe it's not. Maybe you should just try to do it without that. And don't offer, third line guys $4 million. You could do that too. I mean, Stan Bowman has made some really good small bets. He might want to stay that way.
And like, here's the thing that doesn't make sense about it, right? The Oilers are a cup contending team, okay? They have been since they started handing these things out like candy.
Yeah.
You don't need to give no move clauses because as an extra sweetener to a deal for people to come play with you because you're on the path to a Stanley Cup and ultimately that's what people want. Why do you need to go and we'll give you a full no move clause?
I know. I mean, Tucker got an out clause. So did Bichette.
It's true.
Yes. Andrew says, Lowetide, your rant about the Rangers was epic. I don't want it to fall into the vault without a little love. Sending a barge out full of garbage had me cracking up. LOL. Well, that makes me mad because they were like, I like original six teams that are strong, and the Rangers were strong, and now they're not. And an apology level or a message from the guy who did it, just in professional sports, it just rings hollow. Hollow, I tell you, hollow. All right. Lansky is on the way from Inside the Truck podcast coming up at 1:00. You guys are done your special feature, but at 1:20, can I gather the troops to have you give your playoff predictions for the National Football League playoffs?
I guess. I'm not doing anything.
All right. It's all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
All right, a little bit of a hiccup, but we are here with your Sports 1440 update brought to you by Custom Floors, Inc. Floors done right for homes and for businesses. Visit the new showroom, 11577 149th Street, now open 6 days a week, Saturday hours from 10 to 2. Plus, you can also visit customfloorsinc.ca and bring that next flooring project to life. 5 games in the NHL tonight. Florida is in Carolina. Detroit taking on the Sharks. Tampa looking for a franchise record 12 straight win. When they play the Blues, Avs play the Preds, and it's the freeway face-off the Nightcaps. The Kings take on the Ducks. Lone game on the PWHL schedule has Minnesota in New York, and at the junior level, the Oil Kings finish off a home-and-home with the Tigers down in Medicine Hat. All-Star Weekend, the BCHL hosted by the Saints in Spruce Grove, starting with the College Prospects game at 7 from Thompson Family Arena. Breaking news out of the MLB this morning is Bo Bichette has reportedly signed with the New York Mets on a 3-year deal worth a total of $126 million. His run with the Blue Jays ends after 7 seasons and last fall's World Series run. Raptors back at home tonight, hosting the Clippers for a 5:30 tip-off at Scotiabank Arena. And the 5 other games around the association include Philly hosting Cleveland and Minnie playing Houston. Finally, collegiate action in the city. Golden Bears hockey at home for the first time in 2026, playing Regina tonight at the Drake, 7 p.m. puck drop. puck drop. Ooks women's team hosts Northwestern at the Nate Arena at 6. Pandas basketball play at Manitoba at Seville at 6. And the McEwen Griffins basketball team with some afternoon games at the David Atkinson Gym. Thanks for sticking with that one. I'm Declan Krueger, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440 Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Saturday nights were made for Oil Kings Hockey and Ice District. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat. Tomorrow night, your Edmonton Oil Kings face the Tri-City Americans at Rogers Place for the first time in 2 seasons. The Oil Kings will be wearing a specialty fan-designed jersey that'll be auctioned and raffled off with proceeds going to charity. Plus, score Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The Edmonton Oil Kings get a rare visit from the Tri-City Americans. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Legacy Heating and Cooling sucks. Yeah, Legacy can now suck your ducts with professional duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer vent cleaning.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you need the filth sucked from your air ducts.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
When you want cleaner air for your family.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Legacy now offers air duct cleaning. Book in today. Just call Legacy.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
$14.40 for Wolf GMC Buick, family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. May I compliment you on that song? Because it was an actual love song. Somebody who cares for somebody and is thinking about them and offering, if they ever have, a need for them, they'll be right there. Don't worry about the distance. Now, can we talk about the difference between that song and all the other stuff you put on the air, which is, if you're lucky, maybe I'll come over, but don't count on it, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't write the song, can't play guitar, so it wasn't me behind the mic, but I'm glad you liked it.
I did.
New one for the playlist.
Who's that now?
That was the Plain White Tees, Hey There Delilah, came out in about 2008, 2007.
So it's a brand new song then?
Yeah, it's basically classic rock.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of classic rock, do we have Lansky? All right. We're now joined by Steve Lansky from Inside the Truck Podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you enjoying? I always think to ask this, but I want to because you're technically retired now. Not like when you weren't working. You're technically retired now.
Correct. And you're asking if I'm enjoying that?
Yes.
Some days, yes. Some days, no.
Okay.
I don't have a it's fantastic answer for you. There are things that are great about it, and there are other things that I don't love.
So are you underfoot at home a lot?
I'm not really. I work hard to get out every day, but there's a lack of purpose now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to describe it. It's a weird thing. There's just
Are
a
you
lack of purpose because you've had purpose forever. I had purpose forever.
Yeah.
I had a job when I was 13, and now all of it's weird. It's just a weird feeling, man.
My dad never retired, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not putting it down. I think that it's a great thing, but I'm going to predict from you, you're not really retired. You do Inside the Truck podcast, you do this show, you do lots of other things. But I just think the way we are wired is to be wired in and working for something of the I'm not going to say the greater good, but we're goal oriented people, right? You have to be if you work in media, or I worked in sales, same thing. You get up in the morning and you have a purpose, and it's not just making coffee and make sure the dog pees outside.
Those aren't purposes. You're right. And I do like the term greater good, because if I do end up doing something, and I have people ask me here, and would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in that? It would be something, I think, like that, where I can contribute something that I'd be really happy with and proud of.
I'm glad we had this conversation, because it galvanizes what I've always felt, is that I'm just not meant for retirement, which, over in the corner right now, Declan is crying, but it'll be fine. So the Oilers lost last night 1-0, and as soon as it ended, I said, I know the first question I'm going to ask Lansky, and it is this. Do you remember the most famous 1-0 game between the Islanders and the Oilers?
Oh, well, sure. The Kevin McClellan goal, where he's basically running on the ice and fires it low past Billy Smith. Game 1 of the 1984 Stanley Cup Final on Long Island. You mean that one?
Yeah. Fear shutout, wild game. I remember being in shock, and that was because they lost 4 straight the previous year. And when that game, I didn't allow myself to say they were going to win it, but I felt like they were going to win it, because they won 1-0, not 5-3, not 5-4, not 7-6, but 1-0. And that to me, and McClellan scoring, oh my God, it was just like the hockey gods were screaming, this is your year.
I don't know if I was in shock, because at that point, I wasn't at that game. But at that point, I'd been at every game the Oilers had played in those playoffs. I'd been in the first round series, in the 84 Flames series. I went back and forth for every game. I went to the games in Minnesota in the Campbell Conference Final. So I think they might have won 3-1, and then they won another one. I don't have it in front of me, 8-6, 8-5, or some stupid thing. So I thought I'll be fascinated to see what we get in this game 1. And then it was like, wow, I liked that. Then they lost the next game 6-1. When we came back to Edmonton, it was not guaranteed. But geez, what was the next game? 7-2 or something like that, and that was the end of that.
I remember that well, because there was always this crush of, you have to win game 5 after they went up 3-1. You have to win game 5, because the last 2 games were back on the island, right?
Correct. It was the first year they did 2-3-2. And I know I've told you this before, but I'll tell you again. I remember asking Glenn after they'd won the Stanley Cup. I said, when did you know or think, holy cow, we're going to win the Stanley Cup? And he said, I looked at Al Arbor during the Stanley Cup luncheon, which I think would have been between games 3 and 4 maybe. And he said, the look on Al Arbor's face, and he's like, wow, we're going to beat these guys. He does not have the look of somebody who thinks they're going to win. And Glenn said, that was the minute I knew we were going to win the 1984 Stanley Cup.
Interesting. And they had some injury. They'd been playing for 4 straight years. Like they won every series, but they played deep into, like they played through the spring and just at the barrier of summer for 4 years in a row. And they had some injuries. Bossy's back was hurt. Billy Smith, there was something wrong with him, I think. A couple of others as well.
I remember the first round series, I'm going to say 84, where they played the Rangers, and Glenn Hanlon was in net for the Rangers, and it went 5 games. 5 games was the max in the first round in those days. And they had to score, I think Kenny Morrow or one of the Sutters, you could look it up, scored in overtime. I remember Coley's call. I was over at John Shannon's house watching the game because we had a night off. And I remember that game ending. The Islanders won it, but I remember John and I talking like, man, that's going to take something out of them. It's going to take something out of them. And it did, because they had to go 5 against the Rangers in the first round where they almost killed each other.
So this version of the Oilers, and I specifically wanted to talk to you because it feels like they've got a goalie they can count on, and it might be Connor Ingram, but they also have Tristan Jarry. You, as an observer of this team, are you feeling better about the goaltending room right now?
Well, that's a loaded question because I couldn't feel any. I couldn't have felt any worse about it. But yeah, I mean, I watch goaltending a lot. I played it when I was younger. It's kind of the thing that I do during games is I watch goaltenders really closely. Man, I'll tell you, I'm looking for something I don't like about Connor Ingram. I can't find it so far. He just does everything methodically. I know he chased a puck last night. It could have gone in, blah, blah, blah. But he does more methodically in 5 minutes than the previous guy did in 5 games. So I like that kind of goaltending. I like what I'm seeing, and I like that you could switch back and forth between 2 guys who were, I don't want to say it's Mogan Fuhr, but I hope it's Mogan Fuhr.
Do you remember when I have friends who still are mad that they traded Moog and kept Fuhr? Like the Andy Moog Legion was maybe the most vocal and long-lasting group of fandom for a guy who he got traded after he had gone to the Olympic team. Am I right? Come back and they traded him before he came back. Is that right? Either way, Moog gets traded. Fuhr stays. They win 5 Stanleys anyway. But that era, I never worried about the goaltending. I always thought there was going to be a great goalie in net.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether, Moog was pissed off with Glenn when 88 started. So I'm not sure he didn't just leave for the Olympic team. And then, because he played in those Olympics, I think.
I believe he did.
Yeah, and then he ended up going to Boston, and he played against the Oilers in the 1990 Stanley Cup Final. My God, I should have looked some things up before we went on the air. But yeah, he did. Peter Klima scored that overtime goal on him, I'm almost positive, in 1990. But I think it was great to have them there, but it was just kind of a given that you were going to have great goaltending. If the Oilers could get back to that, where it's just a given, whether Jerry goes in there, whether Ingram goes in there, who's ever going in there, that we're going to get good goaltending tonight, oh my God, what a difference that makes.
Well, I maintain that the last time the Oilers had a great goalie, I'm talking a great goalie, was Curtis Joseph. And he was on the ice making a great stop off Joe Nieuwendyk before Toddy Marchant beat Andy Moog at the other end in the Dallas series, which was almost, well, not quite a decade, about 7 years after the 1990 Stanley Cup final. I'd like to see more of the Curtis Joseph or Dwayne Rollison stopping that. Who the heck was it? I can't remember, the San Jose Shark winger. Just on a great chance. They need to get back to that where goalies steal games in the playoffs.
That's the thing. Like, I don't think you win without a goalie stealing some of your games. You're not going to tell me Sergei Bobrovsky didn't steal a bunch of games for Florida, because he did. I'd have to look it up, but my guess is there's 5 or 6 over the 2 years that he absolutely stole. I must be honest with you about Cujo, though. I know he made some big saves, but he does not push all my buttons. He's never pushed all my buttons. I talked to Mike Keenan about him. He drove Mike Keenan. Yeah, it was. He drove Mike Keenan nuts. So we kind of agreed there, but I just never, if you said to me, top 5 Oilers goalies of all time, I don't think he's in my top 5. I'd have to think, but I don't think he's in there.
Okay, well, let's do it. I'll have Fuhrer number 1.
Yeah.
I would have Moog number 2. Billy Ranford would be 3 for me, and then I think I would go with Joseph.
Wow. We can't take Rollison just because it was a short a short time frame.
Well, I mean, he might be 5, it might be Talbot 5, but God, this is awful to say, but Rolison wasn't great in game 1 of the final before he got hurt.
No, but let's be honest. He doesn't get hurt. Did they win that Stanley Cup?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so he couldn't have been that bad.
They had a big damn lead. If Jason Smith doesn't take off on a 3-on-1, they win that Stanley Cup.
Look, it's the first game in the Stanley Cup final for all those guys. There's nerves. It was in Carolina, right? I have no doubt that
they lost. They lost the Stanley Cup because they lost game 1.
Well, they lost the Stanley Cup because they lost their goaltender in game 1. Those are two different. I think those are two different things. Even if they win that game, but Rolison's out, they're not. UC Markkanen's not doing it, dude.
And in game 7 of the Stanley Cup final, Fernando Pisani, who should never pay for a drink again in this town, almost scored in the third period against Cam Ward. And Cam Ward stopped that puck. And I credit him. I think it was a great year for a very fine goaltender, but I'll never forgive him for making that stop.
Well, I won the Conn Smythe Trophy. I mean, he must have been pretty good, but I still believe Rolison doesn't get hurt. Oilers win that Stanley Cup. So yeah. I get maybe Cujo's in the top 5 by default. Can we say that? Is that fair?
Yeah, sure. And because 5 goalies in a 50-year term there's not been that. We're not going to talk about Stalenkov, right?
No. Well, you can, but no. No, I'm not. I'd have to look at a list to see which. I wonder if we could do the 5 worst. No, that would be a bad one. We can't do that.
And Mike Smith was a good goalie, but when he handled the puck, it was utter chaos.
Oh, dude. Part of goaltending is decisions. I have never seen worse goaltending decisions in my life. Oh, this looks like it'll be a good play. What the hell's he doing? I never had more of those thoughts with anyone than Mike Smith. Oh, this should be. What's he doing now? Like, it was insane, man. It was insane watching Mike Smith.
I remember early on his first year, he's got the puck. It's before the line. He's out on the left side. It's before the goal line, so he's got it, and he's not going to take a penalty or anything. And he's going to pass it to Ethan Bear, and the puck whizzed by Bear's ear. And I think it went over the glass, but I can't remember exactly. And I was like, well, that's different. I bet that doesn't happen again. It happened all the time.
You know what? One day there'll be a thing, closed captioning. There'll be a thing where we're watching sports and we can see what's going through the player's mind at the moment it happens. And that would be one time we'd like, what exactly was going through the mind there? Like that, if that's the next step in sports television frontier, I'm all for it. Closed captioning, what was he thinking?
Man, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
It might scare us, though. I mean, it might be like Homer Simpson. Shoe goes on, shoe goes off, So I got to ask you about Bo Bichette. The Jays were in on Tucker, and then I thought they'd check down to Bichette. They didn't. He's a New York Met. The Mets now have 3 second basemen and no third baseman and no first baseman. So that's good. But they've got Bo Bichette for at least a year, maybe longer. What are your thoughts on the Jays not getting those guys and how they might look this coming season?
I got to be honest. I'm not that fan about Bo Bichette. I'm really not. I thought of a lot of the flourish around Bo Bichette was, the flowing locks, the cute little nose, I think that was a lot of what people were smitten with Bo Bichette. I get it. He had a great year. They went to Game 7 of the World Series essentially without him. I mean, he was not even close to 100% in that World Series. And if I'm not mistaken, got picked off first base at one point, which is not too brilliant. I'm not too bent without him because when you look at guys like Clement and Barger, like if you said to me, pick 4 guys who got the Jays to Game 7 of the World Series, I'd say Trey Savage, Vladdy Guerrero, Addison Barger, and Ernie Clement. And to me, there's 3 guys that didn't really even start the season there. So I think it's all here. I don't love John Schneider, but I didn't hate what he did. And I think if they want to get over Bo Bichette, they can get over Bo Bichette pretty quick.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I don't mean to, but we did a top 5, so let's do a top 5 shortstops of the Jays. Tony Fernandez would be number 1 for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he would be. I love Troy Tulowitzki. I'm not going to lie, but he might not have played enough, but I absolutely loved him. But yeah, I guess Tony'd be there. I mean, he was such an anchor at that position for such a long time. And yeah, he'd probably be the guy.
Would you include Alfredo Griffin? We won't do 5 because I'm not going to be able to remember everybody. But Alfredo was a fun player for the Jays in the early 80s, and then he came back for a late run.
I would put all those guys in there. And we're, I realize we're talking about shortstop, Jesse Barfield, George Bell, Willie Upshaw. I'd put all those guys in there because from a team that started in 1977 with not very much, those guys suddenly became the face of a team that, oh, wow, this team's going to go to the 1985 American League Championship Series. Well, this is pretty exciting. That's only 8 years. So all of those guys, to me, were noteworthy and worth mentioning in the history of the Jays because they took the Jays from an expansion team to a team worth noticing. And those guys, for me, will always have a place in my heart.
Yeah, especially the outfield. I loved Barfield, Mosby. Bell was a little bit of a loose cannon, in terms of his readiness, but he was a very gifted player. And I remember thinking, is this group as good as the Expos group of Alice Valentine and Andre Dawson, Warren Cromartie, and then Tim Raines later? And damned if they weren't better. But that was a great era for the Toronto Blue Jays. Do you think they're going to win it this year?
It's so hard. So many teams, so many things have to go right. I think they'll do everything they can, but it's really hard to get back there. I mean, I realize the Dodgers just did it, but look at who the Dodgers have. Look at that lineup.
No, it's crazy.
That is the word. It's crazy. So if the Jays got back, I think it would be nothing short of a miracle. I really do.
Steve, you have a great weekend, and I thank you.
I will do my very best. Next week, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do because your friend will be in Mexico. So we got to figure that out.
Oh, may I ask if it's the Pacific or the Atlantic?
It's the Pacific.
Oh, I like both. I really do. What a beautiful country.
Yes, there's nothing to complain about whatsoever.
Pores open. I hear they have tequila down there. I'm not sure.
I think they do.
Yeah. All right. Be good.
Thanks, man. Take care.
There you go. Steve Lansky. We won't be talking to him from Mexico. The charges are insane. Unless we can do it on computer, I'm not going to make him or us pay $370 for a 20-minute phone call. I won't put us through that. I have the greater good in mind, he said. Okay, we're going to take a break. On the way, NFL predictions from these two jokers, and they are very learned. So stay tuned. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of what
Hits it high in the air to deep center. It is done. It's back the other way. Riley's got a step. Here's Theodore, gets it off. That shot off the side of the net. Coming away. He scores! Won it for Vegas in overtime. Jackson, a whistle, turnover. Black on the top. Oh, take that with you. Jackson.
Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. And Sports 1440 proud to present and sponsor the world's first Alberta Long Feisty Pickles 24-hour Pickleball Challenge. January 23rd, 8 o'clock to January 24th, 8 o'clock, Friday and Saturday. Edmonton Sports Center. 32 teams will dink, of course they will, from dusk to dusk. It's free to watch, play fun games, get food, beverage, and the Big Deal Lounge, which is legendary already, based on what I'm hearing. All proceeds going to Breathing Space, a home away from home for patients traveling to Edmonton for lung transplants. What a great cause. Donate to our Sports 1440 team, Picklers in the Dark. Go to sports1440.com for the link. By the way, an aside, somewhat related, everybody here loves pickles, right?
Yeah, big pickle guy.
Man, that's the good stuff. I go to the fridge and I see we're down a few pickles. I buy more. That's the way it should work. Okay, are you guys ready for the NFL predictions?
Yes.
Let's get out of the way because I'm not laughing because I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because I'm laughing. Declan was asked in the first segment about the Bills Broncos, and he talked all the way around picking the Bills. So we're going to do it again. And we'll see how it goes this time. So, gentlemen, whoever wants to start can. Bills versus Broncos in wild and woolly weather, Denver.
It's your team, man. You start off.
Well, I guess I'll take the Bills on the road. The biggest reason is, like, I often talk about best units and best players on the field, and I'll give Denver the credit wholeheartedly that they'll have the best unit on the field in that defense. But I just think if Buffalo can put up 21 points, which I honestly think Josh Allen can be good for with how special and how talented he is, the Broncos won't have the offense to compete. Like, the over-under for this game is 45.5, which I think is high. It's one of those ones you really like the under, then you think about it and you're like, is this a sneaky over in like a 28-24 game somehow? But then you kind of work it out and you're like, it's going to be tough to get there. I like the Bills, man. I like Josh Allen. I think Denver has a great defense. I'm scared. I'm worried. It's in Denver, but I'm going to take the Bills.
21-17?
Yeah, honestly, what a great score call out. I'll say 21-17, maybe even like 21-14.
Okay. All right. What about you?
I'm rolling with the Bills. I'm going with Declan on this one. I think there is something about Josh Allen. He always shows up.
He's so hot.
He has okay.
Well, wait a minute.
He has
what kind of a show are we?
A fun stat that came out last week was Trevor Lawrence has 7 interceptions in his 3 playoff games. Josh Allen has 4 in his 14. Something about him in the playoffs, his ball protection becomes really, really good. And best defense in the world, worst defense in the world, doesn't matter when you're playing against the best player in the world.
Man, you just got me so fired up. I'm so excited.
We need a punching bag.
I can feel my heart in my throat a little bit because I'm so excited.
We need either to be able to run around a track that's just outside or a punching bag.
Do you think
Declan gets very invigorated?
Do you think this is the biggest game for the Bills? I mean, like, obviously, their season's on the line. Obviously, it's big, but like theoretically, if they win, is this the test? If they get through Denver.
No, I honestly think I'm more scared of the Pats and the Texans.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, let's go to that one next. Texans at Patriots where do they play now? Boston, or is it Foxborough, or where the hell is it?
Foxborough, Mass.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I like Houston in this one. I do. Drake May was obviously my MVP if you listen to the Declination segment at 12:40 today. But what that Houston Tech, like they're just such monsters. Like what they did to Aaron Rodgers, who is a really savvy, long in the tooth vet, and obviously that can work against you a little bit. But like that's a guy who's seen everything, who knows how to plan for everything, and they just made it look easy. And I'm not trying to take away from this Patriots team and what they accomplished, but Josh outlined the stat as well, and it's been well documented. It was one win against the team versus a winning. It was one win versus a team with a winning record this year. I don't love that prospect. I don't love a very green rookie quarterback, even though he's my MVP in the playoffs. I just think it can be recipe for a disaster, especially against a team that's playing so hot and is so good defensively. CJ Stroud, he needs to work some things out. I'm still taking the Texans.
Okay. What about you?
Give me the Texans. I think bang for your buck, it's the best defense in the league. No doubt. And that's what they hang their hat on, really, is the defense. And like Will Campbell did not play very well last week against the Steelers.
No.
If he drops another dud, like Will Anderson Jr. is going to eat Drake May for breakfast. So, yeah, everything in my gut is telling me the Texans, but there's a little something that says maybe the Pats are, even though they're favored, probably I think they're favored by 3.5, but like upset city. You know what I mean?
All right. We went with the AFC, even though the Sunday game is Texans-Patriots. Let's go to the NFC now. 49ers at Seattle to play the Seahawks. This should be a very good game.
Yeah, and really quickly, Will Campbell, he did not have a good game. Then in his post-game media veil, he was like, well, they got a $300 million defensive line. So things are going to happen. And then Connor texted us, and he's like, if you think we're paying our guys $300 million, do you think like Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter getting $3 billion? Like, what are you expecting from them? Anyway.
I heard him talk about that on Fantasy Frenzy.
Yeah.
I was laughing.
49ers, Seahawks. I just think they're too hurt. No Kittle. Obviously, Warner and Bosa, we've gone over that. Our Robinson and Jennings going to step up. I just think this is the end of the road. I think they're playing a really good defense and a team who's playing competently on offense. One of the best offensive weapons in the game in JSM, who's a guy who can go get his no matter what. A running team who runs the ball well against, like I said, that hurt defense. I like the 49ers. They were my preseason pick to make the Super Bowl. I think it ends here at the hands of the Seahawks. And the line kind of reflects that. Like the line, we got to play the game, but 7 points in a playoff game for a divisional team, like that's a lot of points. Vegas is high on Seattle. I like them to win this game as well.
Give me the Niners. Give me the Niners.
I knew we'd have disagreement.
Give me the Niners. I know teams coming off the bye and some other extra thing in there are 7-0 playing against a team. I know that the 49ers, I forget what it is, but in this circumstance that the 49ers are going into, the team with the bye is 7-0 all time. Wish I had the tweet, but I couldn't find it. I need to use my bookmarks more
efficiently.
Efficiently on Twitter.
I've said that a lot.
I need to start bookmarking things rather than just liking them and hope I can find them.
Then soon your bookmarks get too filled up.
Yeah, I know. But then like that's
the
thing though, is like I had a bunch of stuff for Indiana. And then when we didn't talk about Indiana, I just took them all out of my bookmarks because I had it all right there in front of me.
Yeah.
So I was doing well. Anyways,
and pretty soon
Niners,
you forget how to drive. That's the way it works.
The Brock Purdy playoff statistics are incredible. Again, like he's just a playoff winner. And I know all the injuries that these guys have and whatever, but CMC has a touchdown every game. That's insane. Jawan Jennings is Brock Purdy's security blanket. I know like they had receivers in like Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel last year, and George Kittle as a tight end, obviously, and all these things. When he's in trouble, Brock Purdy finds Juwan Jennings for a pass, and Juwan Jennings is not hurt. And then on the flip side, like unless you, I just don't believe in Sam Darnold still. There's something that says like Sam Darnold in these big moments, there's going to be something that happens. And to be fair, I think the Rams fumbled in that Thursday night game at one point, right? That give the Hawks the ball back, in which he marched down the field. But he threw an interception late in that game. If they don't fumble, maybe the Rams go up again. So I don't know. Give me the Niners. They got something cooking over there. Again, Kyle Shanahan, coach of the year in my eyes.
Okay, final one, and this one will go, Sunday late afternoon. Rams versus Bears in Chicago.
Give me the Chicago Bears.
Yes,
right there with you.
Oh,
give me the Bears.
I don't know why, man. I've been on the Rams all season. Like, I've been huge on the Rams all season, but I didn't love what they did against Carolina. No disrespect to Carolina. They played a home playoff game. Like, that's, an enviable spot to be in. And they had beaten the Rams earlier in the season, but I just didn't love what I'd seen from the Rams. And Chicago showed a lot of fight, a lot of adversity. I like Caleb Williams a lot, man. I don't know. Maybe this one comes back to bite me. I'm going to keep it short. I like the Bears.
There you go.
I also like the Bears. This is a team that the Rams are a team that play outdoors or indoors, and now they're going to play outdoors in Soldier Field when it's, I think, 18 degrees Fahrenheit, which around here is cold. Real flipping cold. I think that's in negative double digits. So that's bad. Matt Stafford is a guy that's always played indoors. Like the Lions have a dome. It's LA. McVay is 0-2 at Soldier Field. Like, it's just and then there's something about the Bears in the fourth quarter. They come alive. And like the defense for the Rams is good, which means they're going to have Caleb Williams scrambling, which means he's going to be throwing better than he is in the pocket. Like Donovan said earlier this week, it's like he's not good when he's stationary, but when he's scrambling, he's good.
Well, he made that one throw the other day. That was
that his Air Jordan throw to DJ Moore on 4th and 12.
That's unfair.
Like unreal. And so I just think there's something about this Bears team also. And so give me the Bears. Give me the Bears.
Walter says Houston plays so fast, reminds me of the early 2000s Ravens. That's high praise.
I saw that text. I feel like you can't be like that 2000s Ravens defense. Ooh.
Maybe the best. Well, I mean,
yeah.
What? The Steelers in the 70s, but it's really up there.
There's stats about that Ravens team. I don't know exactly what it is. Forgive me, but it's like if that Ravens offense never took the field, they still would have been 8-8 that year or something.
No, I think they were still above 500. I don't think they were 500. I think they were above.
Crazy regardless.
They allowed less points in their entire season, the 2000 Ravens, than this year's Ravens allowed in the first 4 weeks of the season. Shannon Sharp was, I always remember this. I don't remember the exact order, but he's talking about that Ravens team. He goes, yeah, our defense one time, it was like fumble, punt, fumble, touchdown, interception, turnover on downs, punt, kick, punt, interception, fumble for like, and it's like 4 straight games or whatever.
Oh,
it's just like, oh man, that 2000s Ravens thing. Go back and watch those highlights. They were insane. Ray Lewis, what a dog.
That was a great team. There's no doubt. And
Ed Reed, Houston Texans legend. Whew.
All right, 1:36 on the way. We're going to have a lot of your texts. We're also going to tee up the weekend for the Oilers and the NFL. We want to talk a little bit about Monday night's game because Declan's been waiting on it all day. So we're going to talk about what's going to happen at the college football championship game on Monday. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
I skipped breakfast this morning. Stay out of my way.
Don't threaten me with your bad choices.
No worries. A booster bar from Booster Juice will fix me.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, because they're new. Snack-sized bars packed with seeds, pecans, gluten-free oats, all sorts of good stuff.
That sounds lovely, actually.
2 different flavors to try, too. Coconut pecan booster bars and harvest booster bars. Want to skip breakfast with me?
I take it back. You make good choices.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old mom managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "where'd I put my phone" moment.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Vinny and Don in Hockey are dedicated to skill development for all hockey players. If you know a student athlete interested in growing as a person and a player, register for a free shadow day. Beginner or experienced, this program develops a student athlete skill in a supportive environment. It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vinny and Donnan have to offer. Visit vinnyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown. Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick 141, our final segment of the week. I want to talk a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers, but I also want to give Declan a chance to kind of go over the national championship game. And, you know, we talked about this at length earlier in the week, but this is an historic time for college football. And as you said, no excuses anymore for college football coaches.
Yeah, no doubt. And it really is. And I just implore everyone, go watch the game. It's Monday night. The Oilers play. I don't want to harp on it too much. I know that people want to talk oil. I want to talk oil. So I'm just saying one last time, Monday night, go watch the game.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have any skin in the game, but I so badly want this to go one way so it can be historic and they'll make the movie.
Right? Like you kind of almost do have skin in the game, like we all do because of that.
Well, now, because we have an expert in cinema here, who would play the coach's role? Who would you choose? Not Jack Nicholson, or I'm coming over there. He's too old.
Hold on.
But who would you choose to be the lead role in this movie that we're all looking forward to, in the next 5 years? But it has to come in order.
Let me just look up.
I got a name in mind.
Okay.
Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I like that poll. I really, really like that. I'm trying to think of God. Just looking at a Kurt Signetti right now. It's a tough one. Brad Pitt.
He speaks 7 languages.
Viggo Mortensen?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, he's incredible.
Ooh.
Never watch Lord of the Rings with me. I will make things terrible
he's a
for you.
rugged, good-looking guy, too.
Oh, broke his toe on Lord of the Rings. Hiked to and from set every day.
That guy could beat us in a race.
Who, Viggo?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's an absolute dog. Oh, wait. What about Jeff Daniels for Kirk Signetti?
Who?
I don't love it.
Jeff Daniels?
Oh, he was in that movie with What's Her Doodle. That was good. Something Wild at Heart?
Well, I don't know. He was in Dumb and Dumber, but he was also in The Martian and The Newsroom.
Speed. He was
Wild
Speed.
Thing. Wild Thing. Oh.
Wild Thing. What about just like Tim Allen? What if we just threw a Tim Allen out there?
No.
Okay, no Tim Allen. Duly noted.
No, because he's comedy. He's funny. You want
the real answer is they're going to go Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah,
you're right.
So in the Cruiser Hanks debate, this is Tom Hanks.
Especially if the coach's wife's name is Jenny.
Jenny.
You do it way better than anybody. I only say it so you'll say it properly. Anyway,
what about?
It's going to be fun.
What if Jason Segel did a dramatic role, like in he did Winning Time? Here's Paul Westphal. He's got a look there. He's likable. He's a very likable guy. Jason Segel. He's like the same reason he was cast in Shrinking. It's like does terrible things, but like you just want everything to be okay for that guy. Like you're sort of rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah, he does have that vibe.
He has that. So maybe Jason Segel is the way to go.
Okay.
For Kurt Signetti.
All right. Well, we'll take that and we'll discuss it. We may come back to it as the movie gets closer to being made and really conceptualized. We're a little ahead of the game. All right. Oilers play this week is Hockey Day in Canada. Do you guys care? Do you watch it all?
Yeah. I mean, no, honestly.
Okay. Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I worked with Ron McLean in the 80s. He was my boss at CKRD. The least surprising thing in the world of history of Lowetide's life is that Ron McLean somehow got to the point where somebody let him read poetry out loud, walking towards the camera in the middle of a desolate area with the mountains behind and a gigantic ice sheet. That's so Ron.
That's so Ron.
The Oilers play the Canucks tomorrow night. I think there's going to be. I believe that the Oilers are going to roll over the Canucks. There'll be a little bit of frustration that one got away, and they're playing very well, and they'll want to play very well in front of their goaltender, who I think will be Tristan Jarry. So that's what I think will happen, and I do enjoy Hockey Day in Canada because it there's a little bit of the small town that I grew up in Hockey Day in Canada. Like when I would get up, I lived right next to the rink. My grandpa helped build the rink. And so I lived right next door, and I'd get up and I could smell the cafeteria food from the curling rink, because the curling Saturday morning, right? So I'd go over there and I'd have fries with vinegar and ketchup, and it was just, not the thing to eat for breakfast. And then I'd hang around, we'd watch some curling, and then it would be, you'd go over to the pool hall. My God, what a life I had. And then I would play, and I'd never have to pay because I was pretty good at playing pool. And then we'd, slide over, I think it was 8 o'clock, might have been a little later, but 8 o'clock for the hockey game, the Maidstone Jets, and it was a good life. And Hockey Day in Canada kind of encapsulates that a little bit. How many Connors are on the Oilers roster right now?
Connor McDavid's?
No, Connor.
Connor.
First name Connor Ingram.
If we're just talking about
there's just
two.
two.
There's just two. But if you
there's more than that.
no, because Connor Unger's in the AHL.
Right.
Connor Brown is in New Jersey.
Connor Brown left.
Yeah.
Connor Clattenburg, though, he's on.
Yeah, no, he's on.
I guess he's technically on the.
So there's
technically on
more
the
than
roster.
two. They're just injured right now.
Yeah.
You're great, Al. You got us on a technicality.
Well, thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe people are talking about sending Connor Ingram down. No, it's going to be 3 goalies. Gregor has it right. They're going to have 3 goalies until probably the deadline, certainly after the Olympics. And I don't see any reason why why fool with that? Because somebody could get hurt, right? There's danger here, Will Robinson. I enjoyed last night's game. I love 1-0 games. Did you know that?
I didn't, but sometimes a goalie battle is just what you want.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac for Indy coach. He's got ability to have crazy eyes.
Too handsome.
Justin says, Lowetide, you can have me on the show Monday to give you a breakdown of tonight's NLL game. Actually, I believe you are going to the game tonight, and you're going to tell us all about it Monday.
Me?
Didn't you say you were going to go?
No. I have work tonight. I'm at the bar tonight.
You said you were going to go to the game.
Said maybe I'll go, but it's a Friday.
Okay, Justin.
And I work at the bar.
For sure. You bet, Justin. It's okay. I mean, if you have to work, nothing I can do about it.
There really isn't. Just cry yourself to sleep tonight.
I don't own the bar. Tied. Tommy Salo is number 5. Warren. No, Warren. No, Warren. No. That's not a happening thing. I would say number 1 would be Fear for me. 2, Moog. 3, you could talk me into Curtis Joseph, but I think it's Ranford 3. 4, Joseph. Cam Talbot would be my 5. And that, I think that's what I have. I mean, I'm missing out on guys like Stolinkov and Mike Smith. No. Mikko Koskinen, no. No, I'm going to say that's my 5. That's my 5.
What's your problem with Mike Smith, man?
Well, Mike Smith actually had a really good save percentage, but there was a little chaos in his passing.
There was?
Oh, come on.
Oh my!
He was a good fighter, though. He beat your guy to a pulp.
Well, you mean your guy also?
Yeah, I know. It was spy versus spy.
There
right?
are guys. Yeah, exactly. That was spy versus spy right there.
That was one of the greatest games ever. I remember.
It was awesome.
That was just like, and it's too bad there had to be a loser, which was Calgary. But it was a wild time. Yamamoto had a huge night that night, as I recall. It was craziness.
Doesn't matter. Flames won the first one.
Rollison over Talbot. Well, Montana to Rice. I think that's what Steve Lansky thought too. But I'm going to just push back a little bit. I think that. I will take Joseph. I think if they had Joseph in the 06 final, they would have won. I agree. I think where did that go? Where did it go? I had a.
What are you looking for?
There was somebody who said, I think Saturday's a trap game, and it's gone.
Oh, it's Jay and Victoria. He sent two text messages in.
Jay and Victoria. There we go. I believe this is a game on Saturday that has trap all over it, a part of a back-to-back. God, I hope I'm so wrong, Jay from Victoria. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think it's there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Oilers are in a point where they're a little frustrated they lost last night, right? Propane Pimp says, too handsome. You boys suggested Vigo. Well, I mean, we're just blue skying here. What about Rollison? I liked Rollison. He wasn't here long, but I liked him. I mean, he got him to the final. But I would take Joseph over him. I would take Curtis Joseph over him. I don't think that's we can disagree, but I don't think it's particularly outrageous or something that comes from left field or anything. It seems to me to be a reasonable take, and that's the one I have. I remember when we first lost to the New York Islanders, we outplayed them every game, and we should have won, but it was Billy Smith who stood on his head and bested us. I remember that, too. I agree totally. Rod, I said that the other day. The 4 games they lost, they were in every one, and they could have won every one, but they lost all 4, and it looks like, and that's when Stan Fischler wrote that thing that said that Sather would never win, and Gretzky wasn't a winner. He was like Ted Williams, a great player, but not a champion. And 1 year later, all of that was just garbage because they won the Stanley Cup in 1984 in 5 games. And then Calgary won their single Stanley Cup 5 years later. They've only won the one, although they should have won 2. They actually did win the second one.
Well, what else can you do? I have a question for you.
Sure.
And I guess, Tech, this sort of involves you too. I was thinking about what it was you were saying or what you were reading yesterday. What's like today's equivalent? Obviously, it's like Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, right?
Right. Oh, what could we say about this team?
Yeah, like what's the equivalent that they
I
would
think
say?
you could say that they peaked and they never really delivered as they could have because they kept overspending in free agency and trades and hired 3 establishment general managers who were not creative like the fellow in Florida with the Panthers. Zito.
Not everyone's Bill Zito.
I think as a whole, that's a little harsh, especially the first part of the sentiment. I don't know if they've peaked and it's downhill from here. I don't believe that. I still think they can win a Stanley Cup. But overall, the word would be underachievement.
And who does Connor McDavid get compared to?
No one.
It can't be Ted Williams. Well, Gretzky got compared to somebody, and that's the most.
Well,
uncomparable man in sports.
Ted Williams may well be the greatest ball player ever lived. I think it's Shohei Ohtani, but he never won a World Series, partly because of his team. So Ted Williams would be a good comparable for Connor McDavid. I'm not making that comparison.
Would you be allowed to say, but like a modern day equivalent, would it be like Barry Bonds?
Yeah, Bonds for sure. Bonds would be good.
Because I was thinking about it, trying to figure out who that comparison would be.
That's a really good one.
And I was like, I think Bonds is the way to go.
Yeah, I was going to go Lefty Grove, but that might be
sorry about that.
Okay. Looks like we're done. Did Cam bring in onion rings?
That's what it looked like. Yep. There we go. He confirmed.
Wow. We don't deserve Cam.
All for you, Ted.
No, I can't do onion rings. Nope, but they're good. They're very, very good. All right, Jason Gregor on the way to talk about last night's game. Look forward to the Hockey Day in Canada, the NFL weekend, and so much more. Thanks for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your weekend.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by meals.loca.ca. Every fresh chef-crafted gourmet meal is handcrafted from scratch with fresh ingredients, and it arrives at your door fully cooked and ready to heat, eat, and repeat. Meals.loca.ca. 5 games in the NHL tonight. Florida is in Carolina. Detroit takes on the Sharks. Tampa looks for a franchise record 12th straight win when they play the Blues. Avs play the Preds, and the freeway face-off in the nightcap, Kings and Ducks. 1 game in the PWHL, Minnesota in New York. And at the junior level, the Oil Kings finish off a home-and-home with the Tigers down in Medicine Hat. All-Star Weekend in the BCHL, hosted by the Saints in Spruce Grove. The College Prospects game at 7 from the Thompson Family Arena.